Picasso the Line is all about process. And it's about that essence of creativity, which is what a drawing often is. This exhibition of Picasso's drawings is unique. There are works on view that have never been seen publicly before. So it's a gathering of almost 100 drawings that represent one of the masters of 20th century art from the beginning of his career, 1901, before he invented Cubism, all the way through the end. The last drawing was made in 1969. When I look at this collection of drawings, I see the way in which Picasso was always an innovator and the way in which he defied convention. Early on, his father was an artist, taught him to draw in a very realistic, naturalistic way, and he began to reject that, to try to get to the essence of the thing, to try to understand that if you're going to represent something, you might see it from different angles simultaneously. So you see it in his art, always this sense of challenging convention, of pushing himself to the next boundary. And I think one of the things that makes Picasso endlessly interesting to us is that his style evolved constantly throughout his life. I think that when you look at the trajectory, regardless of who the artist is who created these, it's a fascinating one to see someone starting out. He's looking at Iberian art, he's looking at earlier civilizations, he becomes fascinated with African art. You see the line changing as he moves towards Cubism. He starts fracturing the planes, investigating new ways of looking. After the war, you get a return to classicism almost with ink, and then that moves throughout his career. Regardless of who that artist is, it's somebody whose work I would like to know better. Picasso, because he's endlessly creative, has fascinated people. He has inspired other artists. To present a group of drawings like this is an opportunity for people here to see that moment of creativity and how someone could use something as simple as a line and transform it in different ways. There are many ways to depict the world, and I think this exhibition encourages people to think about how it is that they want to be creative and interact with their surroundings. That pureness of wanting to express oneself and to push through is something that makes Picasso very special. Picasso is considered to be one of the masters of the 20th century. But if you take away a lot of that verbiage and you look at him, Picasso he's a master of line.
Picasso made beautiful minimalist line drawings, and I wanted to celebrate that with a puzzle. Here we have 36 squares in a spiral, and the puzzle is to cover as much of the canvas as you can using these brush strokes of Picasso. Let's look at this brush stroke. So for example, the 4 to 28 brush stroke, that has got 7 squares in it. And that's not a coincidence. 4 times 7 is equal to 28. The same with the 3 and 36. 3 times 12, there's 12 squares in that shape. 3 times 12 is equal to 36. And in the brush stroke that begins with 9 and ends with 27, well, there's 3 squares in that, and 3 times 9 is 27. First, I want to tell you exactly what a legal brush stroke is. This is a legal brushstroke. This is not. It's not for two reasons. First of all, it completely surrounds a region on the board, in this case these two squares. Second, it's not legal because it has a square that is completely orange. You're not allowed to have a square completely of one color. Okay, so now let's do it for a slightly larger grid. You guys should go off and play with this yourself once you get familiar with it. Okay, so here I've got 3 brush strokes. How much am I going to score? I'm going to score 12 points for this because there's 12 squares that I've not managed to find a way to cover in that canvas. The lower the score, the better. This is a slightly better result. Here I got 11. You should now go and experiment yourself. Try to solve the 7 by 7 canvas by getting as low a number as possible. Now I'm going to show you my best result. Now I don't do computer searches, so these best results that I've come up with, almost certainly someone's going to beat them. This one looks pretty good to me, so I'm not sure if you'll beat this one. Only getting 5 squares that I didn't cover, I think that's pretty good. Okay, let's go up to 64. Here's one possible solution. Here I got a score of 10. Let's see if you guys can do better. Come back to me once you have. I'll show you my best result. Okay, my best result is not this, and it's not this. It is this. I managed to get a score of 6. Let's go to 81 squares. I spent about 10 minutes looking for this, so probably you're going to find a better one, but I'm pretty proud of getting to 8. Next, we'll try 100. So this was one of my first attempts, and pretty good. You'll notice the little brush stroke there, 23 and 46. 23 times 2 is equal to 46. That was cute. And unfortunately, this does very poorly. I have 27 places that I have not managed to cover. This is even worse, 28, 26. And I could not for the longest time, and I worked on this for like probably a couple hours. I know that I have a good puzzle whenever I spend so long on it that it takes me forever to get ready this video. I've been working on this for over a month just because I found other things to do, but also because I just fell into this and I kept on wanting to get better and better results. So this is the second best result that I got, and you guys really should try to get better than this. That's 11, and I think it's pretty tough. I'm sure there's going to be computer programmers out there that beat this, but I'm pretty happy with it. Of course, there's no need for you to play around with spirals. This also works perfectly well with a regular kind of layout. This looks a really good place to start. Of course, 46 is way too high, but you can do some stuff with the remaining ones. You could do the 5 like this, the 3 like this, or the 4 and the 5. This was the best I could do. I came up with 22. And even if I play around with the whole grid, and I did for quite a while, I could not do better than 22. I equaled 22, so I never got better than 22. So enjoy playing around with these line drawings of Picasso. Take care.
Bon, on y va. Claude,
Oui,
qu'est-ce qu'il reste dans l'appareil?
150 mètres.
Ça te fait 5 minutes.
Ça suffit.
Bon. Alors, en noir ou en couleur?
En couleur, c'est plus drôle.
Bien, et qu'est-ce que tu fais?
N'importe quoi.
Comme d'habitude?
Mais attends, tu vas voir, je vais te réserver une surprise.
Bien. Moteur. Quoi? J'ai un peu triché pour te laisser du temps. Ça va, ça va. Attention, je coupe, arrête-toi.
Eh bien, c'est fini.
Bago na ang mundo ngayon. Kailangan ng tapang. Di pwedeng sumuko.
Where does genius come from? Pablo Picasso's journey to genius began with a puff of his Uncle Salvador's cigar. So claims the man himself. It's possible this puff ignited what some historians call the rage to master, a voracious dedication to push the boundaries of one's craft. This obsessive personality led Picasso down a lifelong path of bucking established traditions.
I am not in favor of following any determined school, because that only brings about similarity among adherents.
When Picasso moved to Paris at the age of 22, he fell in with like-minded bohemians like Gertrude Stein and Henri Matisse. From this creative cauldron emerged perhaps Picasso's most famous contribution to art history, a radical style called Cubism. With displaced noses and mouths and characteristic irregular forms, Cubism nicely encapsulated Picasso's aesthetic worldview.
A picture used to be a sum of additions. With me, a picture is a sum of destructions.
So it was throughout his career. Picasso constantly reinvented his style at a rapid pace. He created thousands of innovative sculptures, drawings, etchings, ceramics, and paintings. Neuroscientists have discovered that imagery like Picasso's invites viewers into the creative process with the artist. We relish taking incomplete clues and filling in the missing details. Picasso had an instinct for this dynamic long before science corroborated it.
The picture lives only through the man who is looking at